So I think the next thing is to check out the timing and the electrics and just work out, or at least make sure I've got a decent spark. And then I can try and get this thing started again. Yeah, so it's obviously got conventional points, the original points by the looks of it. They're not too bad, and I was actually getting a spark, but whether it was timed correctly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the state of the advanced retard mechanism either. So I'll whip this out and have a look at it, make sure everything's okay. Okay, so I'm going straight for the electronic ignition, so I need to get the auto advance out, the mechanical auto advance, which is on a taper. I'm sure there's some special tool for this, which I haven't got. It looks as if this disc, the disc at the back, yeah, this disc at the back moves, so I'm in gear as well. That's better. So yeah, this disc at the back is part of the auto advance, so if I can get behind that, I should be able to pull it out. See what I've got. See if this will do it. It's a bit of a long shot, but worth a try. I've got various pullers, but they're too big to fit in. Okay. Oh, there you go. That was relatively easy. So there's the seal here on the end of the camshaft, which looks pretty good actually. There's no oil in here. Speaking of. Good. So I can put this away. So it only moves a few degrees, 15 degrees it says on the back. I assume that's the standard fitment from new. So, yeah, the cam is quite sort of pitted there. This is the high point, isn't it? I think with the mark, which doesn't look right. Actually, no, there's the high point, sorry, with the mark. That's more like it. So it must open there and then close around here. So yeah, just quite eroded there. The rust has eaten away at the surface. So, not perfect, but certainly good enough to work. So I'll put that away in my stash of old parts, along with the points. Good. Okay, so this is the electronic backplate. It's got these two pickups, coils, which pick up the magnetic flux through these posts from the magnets that are spinning around inside here. So that fits on there. Got a tapered center hub. This screw is also going to be way too long. I guess there must be another one somewhere in the packaging. Yeah, I'll work that out. So yes, this has got a clockwise timing hole and an anti-clockwise timing hole. This engine runs anti-clockwise, So I need to be using this one, which is I've marked on there with a felt tip pen. So this needs to fit inside here. So the first thing is to get the engine position correct, so I can then get this in roughly the right place. So yeah, here's the hole in the crankcase where the plug fits. It's a deliberate arrangement specifically for fixing the crank in the right position at fully advanced ignition timing position. So you remove the plug from this hole here, this threaded hole, that gives you access to the crank flywheels, and the flywheels have a hole drilled in them. So I can actually feel that hole now. I've got the crank in the right position through the timing hole, and just looking at it, eyeballing it, that Allen key is in the centre of this hole in the crankcase. So that looks right, and I can confirm that down here on the alternator, because can I point with? Because this little pin, probably can't see that. There's actually a point on the other side of this pin in the case. Is lining up with the alternator mark, which is mark number 2. So we've got a double confirmation that the engine is now in the right position. So I can set the position of the electronic ignition unit. Right, on the Boyer instructions, it says that this plate should be in the 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock position, so basically horizontal, which is, I would say, about there. Right, so this stator plate can go on now. It says the wire, yeah, that's right. The wires, where the wires come out, should be at 5 o'clock. So that makes sense, I think, does it? Not really, no. It either goes, I suppose that's right, yeah, 5 o'clock. So that goes there. These pillar bolts on the right hole, there we go. Why wouldn't that fit? That's it. The other thing to be a bit careful of is that this actually goes backwards. That's not right, so maybe that one. The yeah, this timing side camshaft. Well, the camshaft goes in reverse to the engine, which is worth bearing in mind, because of course it's got 2 gears in mesh, one twice as big as the other. So the 2 gears is going to reverse the direction of rotation. So right, so let's get this plate halfway around, roughly speaking. That's about right. Tighten it loosely for now. So I think the next thing is to line up the magnets with one of these holes. That's this hole, because this is the anti-clockwise hole. Center bolt, replace the outer timing cover, blah, blah, blah. Check the engine is still at full advanced position, which it is. Adjust the magnetic rotor position so that one magnet is centrally behind the timing hole at 9 o'clock in the stator plate. The timing hole at 9 o'clock, which is this one. Yes, it needs to come round slightly. Yeah, that's right. Just tap this on to knock it onto the taper. And tighten this up. Which is almost certainly going to turn the engine over. But I can then check it afterwards. Oh, there you go. Let's just get the engine back on top dead center again and check that that setting's right. So the crank's back in the right place. Let's just see whether this is still lining up as it should. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. Whack these in. Okay. I think now I might as well just connect these. Stick them over there. Good. So I'm trying to work out where to put this. I think the answer is that I'll make up a strip of metal on this side. The coil and rectifier on this strip, which just fits between these two locations on the frame. There's the same thing on the other side. These two lugs. I've got a piece of stainless steel, which I happen to have. So if I just mark that out, cut a strip, I can use the sticky pads on the back of this, but also put a zip tie or two around it as well, just to keep it in place. So in effect, it will be there. So that'll be relatively neat. Good. Okay, so I've knocked up a stainless steel strip. So let's just whip that on there. Let's clean this with some meths. So that's stuck on with the sticky tape. Let's just stick a couple of zip ties on as well. I'll put this tie across here, I think, rather than hide all the lettering. That'll do. So this one, so yeah, so these two need to come around to this coming up from the contact breaker backplate, and these just go to the coil and to positive and negative supply. The HT lead is very short. It's quite a tight stretch between the plug cap and the actual coil, so the actual wire looks okay. It's quite flexible, but it's solid copper by the looks of it, rather than carbon. So that's good, but I'm just gonna. I've got a bit of old HT that I used on the Daimler actually, and this is solid copper as well. So I think I'll just swap it for this, since I've got a bit lying around. Make it a few inches longer, and at least it won't be stretched tight. The original cap was really hard to get off, so I've got another one. This is a zero resistance cap. There's no resistor in it, so it just screws on, I think. Straightforward. There's this screw, like a wood screw in effect, that just screws into the core of the wire and picks up the copper conductor. Petroleum jelly in there just to stop it corroding, or slow down the corrosion at least. I've got these fittings have arrived, which are the type that just push onto the copper. Little spike there, and the other dig into the side, obviously. So yeah, a bit of petroleum jelly as usual. Stick that spike into the copper. Push it all the way on. Then just dig these in. I don't think we'll reach the conductor on the back here, but at least we'll dig into the insulation. Yep, does fit the coil. Stick this rubber boot on. Right, so I'm getting there. Now got the HT lead, and I've definitely got a spark with the Boyer ignition. The front end of the wiring was a bit of a disaster, really. It was just a real mess with sort of multiple connections in the same cable, and these strange connectors and bits of tape and all sorts. I did check out the wires to work out where everything went, but it just wasn't going to work. So I'm going to replace all the front end. So this is all stripped out now. So, for example, this is the headlight. I mean, there's what, 2, 3, 4 joins in the same 2 bits of wire, which does seem rather unnecessary. So I'll simplify that and get it just back down to the basics. I think I'll still run it without a battery. That's the plan anyway. See how it goes. I can always stick in a small lithium battery if it seems to be more useful and easier to start, for example. Oh well, I'm going to go for a start, I think. Give it a tickle. We have fuel. Timing might be out slightly. Getting close though. Oop. It started. Yeah, the BSA for the first time. It's a bit smoky. Ah, at least it worked. Yeah, that clear. It's a stupid idea, really, but still.